first glance, these families may seem ordinary, but behind their stories lie truly unique traits. Across the world, there are individuals whose lives are shaped by rare traits and unusual features that most of us can hardly imagine. In this video, we'll explore incredible families whose differences are as real as they are fascinating. Some stories will inspire you, others may surprise you, but all will change how you see the human body. Number 10. The Johnston family, the world's largest known family of little people. While many families are unique due to a single trait, the Johnston family of rural Georgia holds a distinction that is globally recognized. They are the largest known family in the world living with the same specific form of dwarfism. Trent and Amber Johnston, along with their 5 children, Jonah, Elizabeth, Anna, Alex, and Emma, all live with achondroplasia. According to Medline Plus Genetics and the National Institutes of Health, NIH, achondroplasia is the most common form of short-limbed dwarfism, occurring in approximately 1 in 15,000 to 40,000 live births worldwide. It is caused by a mutation in the FGFR3 gene, which interferes with the conversion of cartilage to bone. What makes the Johnstons' data particularly interesting is the family's composition. While Trent and Amber are biological parents to 2 of the children, they adopted the other 3 from different parts of the world: Russia, South Korea, and China. Statistically, the chance of a family of 7 all having achondroplasia through a mix of biology and international adoption is astronomical. Their journey, documented on the TLC series 7 Little Johnstons since 2015, focuses on a no-excuses parenting philosophy. They famously refused to modify their home to accommodate their height, choosing instead to adapt to a world built for average-sized people. Amber Johnston often tells the media, "We want our kids to know that the world isn't going to be modified for them, so they have to learn to navigate it as it is." Number 9. The Ulas family, the siblings who walk on all fours. In a remote village in Hatay province, southern Turkey, one family became the center of an intense international scientific debate that lasted for over a decade. The Ulas family first gained global attention in 2005 when researchers discovered that 5 of the 19 siblings moved using a unique quadrupedal gait, walking on their palms and feet in a manner similar to a bear crawl. Initially, some scientists proposed a controversial theory of backward evolution, suggesting the family represented a genetic devolution. However, rigorous medical testing quickly debunked this. According to a study published in the journal PLOS I and led by Professor Nicholas Humphrey and Professor Stefan Mundlos, the siblings actually have a rare genetic condition now known as Unnerton syndrome. The science behind their movement is fascinating. Researchers found the siblings carry a recessive mutation in the VLDLR gene, which is critical for the development of the cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for balance, motor control, and coordination. MRI scans revealed significant cerebellar hypoplasia, meaning their cerebellum is severely underdeveloped. Statistically, this condition is incredibly rare, with only a handful of cases documented worldwide. Because they lacked the neurological wiring to balance on 2 legs, the siblings adapted by using their hands to create a stable 4-point base. Unlike primates who walk on their knuckles, the Ulas siblings walk on their palms, which has led to the development of thick, heavy calluses. Anthropologist Nicholas Humphrey, who spent time with the family for the BBC documentary The Family That Walks on All Fours, stated, "It is an amazing example of how the human body can adapt to a deficit. It's not a leap back in time. It's a modern human response to a biological challenge." Number 8. The Chana family, the world's largest family living under one roof.
With an incredible 181 members, this is one of the biggest families in the world, all living under one roof.
Imagine sitting down for dinner, but instead of setting the table for 4 or 5, you need to feed over 180 people every single night. But here is what makes this story even more extraordinary. This was not chaos. This was organized. The family operated like a small village. The wives lived in dormitory-style rooms on the lower floors, closest to Ziona's private bedroom at the top. According to interviews Ziona gave to the New York Post, he personally selected a new wife whenever he saw a woman he liked. His youngest bride was reportedly just 17 years old when they married. The entire household was rooted in the Chana sect, a polygamist Christian religious group founded by Ziona's own father in 1942 in Mizoram. By the time Ziona became leader, the sect had grown to nearly 2,000 followers, all of whom practiced polygamy as a core religious principle. What makes this family scientifically remarkable is the sheer logistical and psychological scale of communal living at this level. Researchers studying group dynamics and communal households note that maintaining social harmony in groups beyond 150 people, known as Dunbar's number, proposed by British anthropologist Robin Dunbar in 1992, is considered extremely difficult for the human brain to manage. Yet somehow this family did it, under one roof, for decades. When Ziona passed away in 2021, thousands mourned. His son told reporters, "We've lost the head of our family," and with that, the world lost its most extraordinary household. Number 7. The Whitaker family, America's most documented inbred family.
On July 4th, 2020, a video was posted to the YouTube channel Soft White Underbelly that would shock the world and make movies like The Hills Have Eyes look less like fiction and more like a documentary.
Tucked deep in the rural hills of Odd, West Virginia, a real town with a population of barely 800 people, lives a family that stopped both scientists and filmmakers in their tracks. The Whitaker family is widely considered the most documented case of consanguinity, the scientific term for close relative reproduction, in modern American history. Their story first reached global audiences through filmmaker Mark Leda, who visited them in 2004 while working on his book Created Equal. He returned years later, posting a documentary-style video in 2020 that has since crossed 50 million views on YouTube. Several Whitaker family members were born with severe intellectual disabilities, limited verbal communication, and physical conditions that genetic counselors directly link to generations of intermarriage within the same bloodline. The science is clear. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, when closely related individuals reproduce, their children face a significantly higher risk of inheriting 2 copies of the same defective recessive gene. A 2018 study published in Nature Genetics, analyzing over 450,000 individuals, confirmed that first-cousin offspring carry a 4 to 7% higher risk of genetic abnormalities. For closer relatives, that risk multiplies dramatically. Leda, in a 2021 interview with the Daily Star, described one visit saying, "Some of them can't speak, but one grabbed my hand and just held it. That hit me harder than anything." He has since returned repeatedly, bringing food, supplies, and medical help. Number 6. The Blue Fugates, the Kentucky family born with literally blue skin. For generations, deep in the isolated hills of Troublesome Creek, Kentucky, an entire family was born with something that defied easy explanation. Their skin was blue, not metaphorically, not slightly discolored, genuinely, visibly blue, a trait that passed through the Fugate family across 6 generations, spanning nearly 200 years, from the early 1800s all the way into the 1970s. Their story remained largely confined to rural Appalachia until hematologist Dr. Madison Cawein of the University of Kentucky tracked them down in 1960 after hearing rumors of blue people living in the Kentucky mountains. What he discovered became one of the most remarkable case studies in American medical history. The Fugates were living with methemoglobinemia, a rare blood disorder in which an abnormal form of hemoglobin called methemoglobin accumulates in the blood and cannot carry oxygen efficiently. This causes the blood to turn a dark chocolate-brown color, which beneath the skin appears visibly blue. According to the National Organization for Rare Disorders, NORD, inherited methemoglobinemia is caused by a deficiency of the enzyme cytochrome B5 reductase and is an autosomal recessive condition, meaning a child must inherit the defective gene from both parents to develop it. That is exactly what happened in Troublesome Creek. The original carrier, Martin Fugate, settled there around 1820 and married a woman who unknowingly carried the same recessive gene. Because the community was so geographically isolated, intermarriage within the same bloodline continued for generations, repeatedly passing the gene forward. Dr. Cowain treated affected family members with methylene blue, a simple compound that rapidly converts methemoglobin back to normal hemoglobin. Within minutes of injection, patients' skin color visibly changed. One family member reportedly said, "It was like watching someone come back to life." Number 5. The McCoy family, America's first surviving septuplets.
The world's first set of surviving septuplets are turning 28 years old today. Longtime KCCI anchor and reporter Molly Cooney had a global exclusive in November of 1997 when she introduced the world to Bobby and Kenny McCoy.
In Des Moines, Iowa, one family made medical history in a way doctors had almost never seen before. On November 19, 1997, Kenny and Bobby McCoy welcomed 7 babies at once, 4 boys and 3 girls, becoming the parents of the first set of surviving septuplets in the United States, and at the time, the first known surviving septuplets in the world. The babies, Kenny Jr., Alexis, Natalie, Kelsey, Brandon, Nathan, and Joel, were delivered by cesarean section at just 31 weeks gestation, nearly 9 weeks premature, at Iowa Methodist Medical Center in Des Moines. Their combined birth shook the medical community because high-order multiple births carry extreme risks. According to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, ACOG, pregnancies involving 4 or more fetuses face sharply increased dangers including premature birth, low birth weight, cerebral palsy, respiratory distress, and infant mortality. Each McCoy baby weighed between about 2 pounds 5 ounces and 3 pounds 4 ounces. 2 of the children, Nathan and Alexis, were later diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a neurological condition caused by abnormal brain development or injury, often associated with extreme prematurity. The pregnancy occurred after Bobby took the fertility drug Metrodin to treat ovulation problems. Doctors offered what is known as selective reduction, a procedure used to lower the number of fetuses in a high-risk pregnancy, but the McCoys declined for religious reasons. Their story exploded across global media. According to the New York Times and CNN, offers of donations, food, a van, a house, and scholarships poured in from around the world. Number 4. The Vassilyev family, the most prolific mother ever recorded in history. Before modern fertility treatments, before record-keeping systems, and before the world even had words like extraordinary, one Russian woman quietly made history in a way that has never been repeated. Fyodor Vassilyev and his first wife, a peasant woman from Shuya, Russia, whose name was never formally recorded in historical documents, produced what the Guinness World Records officially recognizes as the highest number of children born to one mother in recorded history. Between 1725 and 1765, a span of just 40 years, she gave birth 27 times, delivering a staggering 69 children. The breakdown is almost impossible to believe. According to records submitted to the Moscow Monastery and later cited by the Guinness Book of World Records, she gave birth to 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, 4 sets of quadruplets. Of those 69 children, an extraordinary 67 survived infancy, a remarkable figure even by modern standards, considering infant mortality rates in 18th century Russia were estimated at nearly 40%. According to historical demographic research published by the Cambridge Group for the History of Population. What makes this medically fascinating is the biological rarity of repeated multiple births. According to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, naturally occurring twins appear in approximately 1 in 250 pregnancies. Triplets occur in roughly 1 in 10,000. For one woman to consistently produce multiples across 27 pregnancies suggests an extraordinary and likely hereditary predisposition to hyperovulation, releasing multiple eggs per cycle. Fyodor Vassilyev reportedly went on to have 18 more children with his second wife, bringing his total to 87 children in one lifetime. Historian and demographer David Wooten, referencing this case in his research on early modern fertility, described it as biologically improbable, yet historically documented. No family before or since has come close to matching it. Number 3. The De Silva family, the family born with extra fingers and toes. In a quiet neighborhood near Brasilia, Brazil, One family carries a trait so rare that scientists still study it today, and yet for them, it is simply part of everyday life. The Da Silva family has become one of the most documented cases of polydactyly in the world, a genetic condition causing individuals to be born with extra fingers, extra toes, or both. What makes their case extraordinary is the scale. Across multiple generations, at least 14 members of the Da Silva family have been born with 6 fully functional fingers on each hand and 6 fully functional toes on each foot. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, polydactyly occurs in approximately 1 in every 1,000 births worldwide, making it one of the more common limb abnormalities. However, cases where the extra digits are fully formed, functional, and connected to working tendons and nerves, known as preaxial or postaxial polydactyly type B, are significantly rarer. What separates the Da Silva family from typical cases is that their extra digits are not decorative anomalies. They are fully operational. Family member João de Assis, a teenager, told reporters that his extra finger gives him a distinct advantage as a goalkeeper, allowing a wider grip. His cousin Maria Marina expressed hopes that her 6 fingers would make her a better piano player. The condition in their family is linked to a mutation in the ZRS regulatory region of the SHH gene, a gene responsible for limb development during embryonic growth, according to research published in the American Journal of Human Genetics in 2012. Their patriarch, Assis, famously wrote a book and deliberately placed his 6-fingered hand on the cover, turning a genetic trait into a symbol of family pride. In their community, they are known simply as the 6 family. Number 2. Benny Harlem and Jackson, the father and daughter who broke a world record with their hair. In Los Angeles, California, one father and daughter duo stopped the internet completely. Not with wealth, not with scandal, but with something far more personal: their hair. Benny Harlem, a New York-born model, artist, and father, first went viral in 2016 when photos of him and his young daughter Jalissa, known publicly as Jackson, circulated across social media platforms showing the two of them with absolutely towering, immaculate natural afros that seemed almost too extraordinary to be real. But they were completely real. In 2017, Benny was officially awarded the Guinness World Record for the tallest high-top fade ever measured, his afro reaching an astonishing 25.5 centimeters, approximately 10 inches, above his head when professionally measured and verified. Jackson's hair, equally breathtaking, has been measured at lengths rivaling her father's, making them the only known father-daughter pair to both hold recognized records for natural hair height simultaneously. But beyond the records, their story carries real depth. Benny grew up without a father figure. In multiple interviews, including a 2017 feature with ID magazine, he described fatherhood as his greatest purpose, stating, "Fatherhood is not a job, it is a duty, emotional, spiritual, and physical." Jackson, in the same feature, described her father simply as the most wonderful man in the world, my teacher in life. Together, they create their own natural hair care products, homemade formulas using coconut oil, Ethiopian frankincense butter, and berry extracts, which they apply regularly to maintain and grow their hair. According to trichologists, scientists who specialize in hair and scalp health, consistent moisture, minimal heat, and protective styling are the primary factors behind extreme natural hair growth and retention. Their imagery, often styled as African royalty, has been viewed hundreds of millions of times globally. Number 1. The Darger family. 1 man, 2 identical twin sisters, and 25 children. Most people struggle to manage one household. Joe Darger of Salt Lake City, Utah, manages 3, all under the same roof, with 3 wives and 25 children. But here is the detail that makes this family truly extraordinary. 2 of his wives are identical twins. Joe Darger is legally married to Vicky Darger and spiritually married to her identical twin sister Valerie, as well as their cousin Alina Darger. All 3 women living together, raising children together, and by every account, doing so willingly and cooperatively. Their story was documented in their own co-authored book, Love Times 3, published in 2011, which became a New York Times bestseller. The family was also featured on major outlets including ABC News and Today, where all three wives sat side by side and openly defended their lifestyle. In one interview, Vicky stated, "This is not about control. We chose this. We are happy." Their family practices fundamentalist Mormon polygamy, a belief system separate from the mainstream Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which officially banned polygamy in 1890. Legally, Joe is only married to one wife. The other relationships carry no legal recognition under Utah state law, where polygamy remains a third-degree felony, though prosecution is rare. What makes their case scientifically and socially fascinating is research around plural family dynamics. A 2011 study published in the Journal of Family Issues found that women in self-chosen plural marriages frequently reported higher satisfaction when communication and equal treatment were prioritized, something the Darger wives publicly emphasize. If these incredible stories amazed you, make sure to like this video and share it with someone who needs to see it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next fascinating countdown.